in business, team synergy is one of the hardest things to get right, and yet one of the most important things when you reach a certain mark in your business. When you have 5 employees, 10 employees, 20 employees, team synergy eventually becomes one of the highest ROI activities of your business, ensuring that your team is all rowing in the same direction. And in order to accomplish the goal of having team synergy in your business, you have to make sure that people aren't fighting for different moves, different missions, let's say. A story I'm going to tell you in this video, very important, learned from Jocko Willink in his book Extreme Ownership, which is a concept called cover and move. Cover and move. And I'm going to do my best to summarize the story. It's not going to be perfect, and I'm going to kind of put it in a way that's more easily digestible than the entire chapter, cover and move. So let me explain this to you. So you're in Iraq. The town is Ramadi. Okay, this is at the heat of the insurgency when the the friendly Iraqi soldiers and the United States had come together, right, fighting against these terrible people who were in the city of Ramadi looking to overtake that city, or who really had already overtaken the city, and the United States Army and Navy, the SEALs, come in to reverse that. There's the Army there, and there's the Navy. Each of these teams of people could have sometimes upwards of 100 people in the city of Ramadi, which would be a total of 200 people. So let's say, to make things simple, 100 on the Army side and 100 on the Navy side, the SEAL side, right? Now, in this scenario, the SEALs were much more equipped for the ground force, meaning the people actually going across the rubbled city of Ramadi with their machine guns on their back, inhabiting buildings, putting their machine guns and their snipers out the windows to actually kill the bad guys in the city, right? And the Army was better equipped for the more tactical shooting, like the rooftop snipers and stuff like that. So the Army they both have the same mission, though. They're both the United States government. They're different segments, the Army and the Navy. They both have the same mission of taking out these terrible people in the city of Ramadi so that the city can restabilize. They had different chains of command. So this is the key. They had different chains of command, meaning one guy commanded the Navy SEALs and another guy commanded the Army. And both of these guys thought they were so busy and so complex, right, that they didn't need each other. So the Army could take out their mission of taking out a specific enemy target on the rooftop with the rooftop snipers that they had in abundance. Also, the Army had access to the Iraqi Army soldiers who knew the local landscape and all that stuff of the town of Ramadi. So they knew what doorways to look into. They knew which buildings the bad people were likely to be in. The Navy didn't have that luxury. Nonetheless, they both thought they could win this battle keeping themselves siloed. So months and months and months go by. The Army's doing their own thing with the snipers on the buildings, and the Navy's doing their own thing with their ground force, okay? Trying their best to figure out where the bad guys are as they're going through these detonated streets that are super dangerous, facing firefights. And they're battling, and both of the leaders, the leader of the Navy SEALs, Jocko, and the leader of the Army soldiers, they both had some ego, right? They had some ego. They felt, well, I already have 100 people. I don't need help by another 100 people. I don't need to get involved with the Army. That would show them that I'm not good enough with my team. Why would I ever be vulnerable to the Army? I don't need them. I have 100 guys here of my own, right? Why? Why would I ever need them? And the Army was thinking the same thing. Hey, why do I need the ground fleet? This is Jade. I have everything I need in you can't go across there. I have everything I need in my Army forces, right? We have the friendly Iraqi soldiers who know the local landscape. We have our people on the building tops. We have everything we need to make our mission a success by using the building tops and our snipers primarily, and some of our ground force, but that's primarily what we have, right? Until one day, there was a firefight of some sort, and the ground troops almost got killed, right? And it was really bad. And if they just had one person on the roof from the army to notify them that the enemies were right there in front of them, okay, they wouldn't have went through this crazy firefight, okay? So then the light bulb goes off, okay? Cover and move. Cover and move. That's what this is one of the rules of combat. Cover and move, which can be applied to business every day. They thought, wow, if we just had someone to cover us as we were moving through the ground fleet on the city streets, we would have been fine, and we would have avoided this entire firefight, which could have created many casualties. So both of these leaders put their tails between their legs and said, let's collaborate. We're going on the same mission. We both want to secure the town of Ramadi. We want to stop these bad guys from killing people. We have the same mission. Let's stop having ego and let's work together. So the cover and move concept comes from this battle where the Army and the Navy, the SEALs, decided to collaborate so that the Army soldiers who were on the rooftops with the snipers, who also had the friendly Iraqi soldiers on their side, who knew the local landscape of the town of Ramadi, Iraq, they then collaborated with the ground fleet, okay, the Navy SEALs, so that they could cover and move. They could cover, meaning the Army snipers could cover the ground. They could look at all areas of the ground to make sure the enemy wasn't lurking around corners, and they could move on the ground at the same time. Whereas the opposite that was happening before was they were covering, separately moving. They weren't doing it in tandem. And as a result of this, they succeeded much faster with much less tension and way less mistakes. So the whole concept here is, in your business, is your team covering and moving? Meaning, is your sales team collaborating with your operations team? Or is it a fight? Is it all separate, right? Is your one silo of your company, let's say, one silo of your operations division clashing with another silo of your operations division in your company? Or even more simply, do you have two employees that just don't see eye to eye, right? The question becomes, how can you make each of them see that each other's strengths can either be criticized or leveraged, right? And as soon as you get these insights, which we just went through this in our company because we have many different viewpoints, because we hire some pretty talented people at my digital marketing company. We still have different viewpoints. We get passionate, we disagree sometimes, and we come into the business with our own belief systems that sometimes criticize others as a result, because we have different belief systems. So we found one of the highest ROI activities, especially when we got to the 10 employee mark, is to make sure we're covering and moving, meaning the sales team and the operations team are working together. Okay, all operations divisions are working together. HR is working with the sales team, right? Because the sales team is talking to so many people every day. What if they just threw in extra sentences at the end of their calls and said, hey, we're also hiring for X, right? It makes everyone's life easier if everyone's on the same page. And if the operations team understands that, hey, we got to keep up sales, even though more sales equals more work for you, because here's our overhead, here's what's needed, and this ties into our needs in the finance department. So then eventually everyone understands that they're rowing in the same direction in your business. So that is the concept of cover and move. I think it's the number one concept to creating team synergy in your company, which, believe me, is one of the unmeasurable things, but high importance, because as soon as you get someone rowing in the opposite direction, it slows everybody down. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you want more information on either marketing for your business or leadership, go to SMB Team's YouTube channel and just look at all the videos we have posted and pick a video that's good for you. We have tons of different videos for you to choose from on leadership, business, marketing, etc. And we'd love to offer you more value. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with a friend, because we'd love to spread this concept with as many people as possible. My tip here is this: share this concept with your team. Read the one chapter in Extreme Ownership on Cover and Move, okay? And then share it with your team in a meeting. Wait till you see the response.